Many aren't, and we're going to discuss how to convince rather than shame them about the science of the vaccine. But first, some good news out of Washington. Yes, there is good news on this Friday. It can be done. Lawmakers from opposite sides of the aisle can agree on something when it comes to the border crisis that we have. Today, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham held a joint press conference with Representative Henry Cuellar, a Democrat of Texas, to agree that the Biden administration is doing a horrible job managing the crisis at the border. That is what they agree on. And it is a stunning rebuke of Vice President Kamala Harris, who was named border czar more than 4 months ago.
We're urging President Biden to create a special position to bring order to chaos, put somebody in charge whose focus is just on the border and all the problems associated with it.
They don't have to listen to me. The administration doesn't need to listen. I've been very respectful, very supportive of the administration, but something has to change.
So let's look at the facts now in terms of why people say something needs to change. The crisis at the border has exploded in recent months. In June, the Border Patrol encountered, you see there, 200,000 migrants. That's the most since March of 2000, 21 years ago. This year, the agency has seen more than 1 million migrants cross the border, and we still have 4 months left. Joining us now, a man who knows a lot about what can and cannot be done on the border, former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, we appreciate you being with us. We know from a lot of interviews that have been done down on the border that migrants waited until the Biden administration came out into office to come up, and now they continue to pour through the border. Specifically, what policies were changed that makes it so much better to come now than under the Trump administration?
Well, I think the broad policy that was actually changed is we have gone from a administration where we are enforcing the laws, the immigration laws that were passed by Congress, to an administration that is signaled very clearly they're not enforcing any laws. They're basically not kicking out any illegal immigrant, even if they commit crimes, even if they're gang members. It is so hard to kick them out, and everyone knows that that's what they're doing. The policy is open borders and amnesty, and that's what they ran on, and that's what they've been doing.
Yeah, but I understand that talking point, but I'm trying to understand actually in terms of the policy. You say not kicking out gang members and everything else. That's what people have been in and caught a long time ago. I'm saying what's changed at the border? Because we know that people were given notices to appear under the Trump administration, and the Biden administration's doing the very same thing.
Right. So I think what's changed at the border, we have more people coming because the incentive is greater. They know the chance of getting through is greater, and the chance of staying once they make it through is much greater. And I think when you're looking at policies, they specifically change the policies with who they will remove. And you have to meet such a narrow criteria to get removed. Even certain aggravated felons won't even be removed. So if they're not even removing aggravated felons and gang members in certain cases, unless you could prove they're a gang member, that says to everyone else, if you get here, you're not getting kicked out.
Would it be relatively easy to change it back? Is this as simple as a stroke of the pen by the president?
I think this would be extraordinarily difficult to change it back because the message has already been sent that you come in and you're not getting kicked out.
Now,
So
Kamala Harris will tell you, Kamala Harris in the administration will tell you that she went down to the Triangle countries and said, don't come.
Yeah, and I think she got a lot of pushback even for saying that.
Yeah,
and
I
I think that was sort of with a wink and a nod. With this idea that she's not doing a good job with this role, it's objectively true, but the administration's goal is not to stop this. Their goal is not to stop illegal immigration. Their goal is to have as many illegal immigrants come into the country as possible. That's why they chose her for the role. Where she's actually failed is basically to create the impression that she's treating it seriously, which is actually quite an easy lift, and she hasn't been able to do that, which is actually the most remarkable thing about this.
We're going to get into our polling numbers with the next guest, but this brings up an interesting question because Graham and Cuellar suggested Jay Johnson. We later learned from our reporter Kelly Meyer in Washington, D.C. that they never bothered to call the former Secretary Jay Johnson to discuss this with him before mentioning his name. But basically what I'm hearing from you is it wouldn't matter if they put God himself in charge of things at the border. It's not going to change because this is about policy, not about people.
This is a cynical political ploy to get as many illegal immigrants in the country as possible because the Democrats see them as future Democratic voters, and it's cynical politics. That's all it is. They want this to happen. They don't like, they get some mild media pushback, but it's really not particularly strong on this. So they'll weather the storm and get what they want. And the long game is as many illegal immigrants in the country as possible because they see those as future voters. And I think what's interesting about this, you were talking about the COVID issue, and we're about to go back into a world of lockdowns and closing schools. And it is just amazing that at the border we treat everything different. We don't have concerns at the border. And again, this undermines the confidence in our public health officials and otherwise. And I know you're getting to it earlier, but I'll get it to later. But
Steve Scalise is making this. It's the Republican pushback in terms of the hypocrisy from Democrats, how they treat people in New York City and even at the Capitol versus how people at the border are treated relates to how scared everyone is of COVID. Jonathan, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, and your service to our country as well. Policies, of course, come from politicians, and right now, Democratic politicians are making these decisions. Pablo Manriquez worked in the DNC on Latino outreach and then came over to the dark